There's only this, and this seems to be something special. We hear a lot about this. But this is very normal. It's just the movement, it's just the talking, it's just the nodding of your head, it's just what's seen, what's sensed. There's an awareness, consciousness, awareness, I don't know those words, the difference, the awareness of somebody, and then you look at yourself and there's a comparison about I am someone, there's another someone. You look at yourself and when there's a separation, when there's a me, there's a separation. It seems like there's always something not right yet. There's something wrong, there's something missing. It seems like deep down, and it's not only in the mind, it's embodied. It's an energetic thing that there's something wrong. I have to find it. I miss something, it's not right yet. So there's missing, and that after that, you could say through that missing, there's a drive to find it. But because you see the world as real, as solid and real, the search is in the world. So there can be a search of power, of when there's a missing, of not being together, feeling alone, there's searching maybe for a partner or children, and there can be a good job, or there can be success is another one, and when you pass that, or you can't see that it's there is the non-duality. In this time there's a lot of people searching in non-duality, but a lot of people are searching in non-duality in the same way as they did before in therapy, or looking for success, because you think it's me, I'm searching, and I want to reach it. When there's said there's no one, it seems that's something I don't feel that, I have not that experience. So a lot of things who said here, it's not your experience. So it seems very odd that there's maybe another world or something else. So it seems like, oh, I have to find it, or I have to, maybe I can do or not do something to make it happen. Oh no, I don't have to do something, but how do I do that? And the me is always about doing. So there's always, in a subtle way or more strong, a sense of what can I do, what can I not do, how can I behave, what is the best way, because it can't be heard that this is already it. This is already it, the way the moving happens, the way the room seems to be, everything is already complete. And maybe you can hear that for a moment, and then there's, but I don't feel that. It's not my experience. It's not how I see it. Or there's still a feeling of, it's maybe not complete yet. And when the me is there, it will always be like that. The only thing when there's no me, what is falling away is that subtle but really big also, subtle feeling like there's something wrong. That's the only thing that doesn't come up anymore. The rest is already there, so it goes on. There's nothing different. But because when there's no me, there's nothing trying to change it. In one way, it's very normal, and you forget what it was like before, and it's just a simple normal life. In another sense, it's huge, because the looking for something, and there's something being wrong, is in every movement, in every going, in every trying. There's the feeling of there's something wrong, there's something missing, I'm not good enough, something like that. And that's in everything. So if there's a relationship, it's also projected to, if he good enough, or she is not good enough, and or maybe I have to eat less because I'm too big, to becoming too big, or there's anything there. And that when we are more long time in this kind of meetings, you know there's no good, there's no wrong. So the search can be more subtle. It's not about good and not good or wrong. It's about being more it's more flowing, or it's more energy, or I'm more relaxed, or things like that. But it's of course the same search, because it's always about me. It's always about you. When there's a me, the me is the center. So it seems then that this body, and I am in this body, you could say, and that's the center of everything. And the trying or the search is always about getting away from pain or suffering and feeling more comfortable or more happy. And it's always about you. It's always you want to find it. So and when there's a me, when there's looking after somebody else, the center still is you. So the looking for somebody, or the taking care of somebody else, the center is always you. When there's no me, there's no center. There is no one inside. And it's not that there's something happening. It's happened like there's no one inside anymore. There never was someone inside. It's just body. And it's already there. It's everywhere. There's only body or table or room or anything. And the strange thing is, when there's no one, it's also very obvious that everything is just apparent. Nothing is real. It seems very real and very solid, and there seems to be time. There is no time. And no time, that's huge also, because when there's no time, there's no before, there's no after. So there's only this. There's only this. There's no past, there's no future. There's only this. So no guilt, no responsibility. There's only this. And it can be anything. That can be pain, or sadness, or being grumpy, or walking, anything. Seeing trees, drinking coffee, anything. And nothing is different as something else. It is different in the sense that it's just different. There's no, this is better than that. That's the human brain that abstracts everything and can see, oh, this is better for me and that's not better for me. So this is better and this is not better. When the taking care of the earth, you could say, it's better for me. So a certain way of doing is better. But it's just what's happening, and it can be anything. Just walking through the woods, it's just trees, nothing else. Seeing trees or hearing, and maybe not even knowing if it's the wind. There's no knowing. There's just hearing, seeing. That's it, and nothing is real. But it doesn't matter if you think, oh, I can't see that, so it's not yet there. It doesn't matter. It's just that's what's happening. So what? Then it seems like that everything is solid. Then that's what's happening. Nothing is wrong. Nothing is good, but also nothing is wrong, of course. It's just what is, apparently. It's just what is. That's it. Very easy, very simple. No trying to reach it. You can't reach it, of course. You will never reach it because it's already there. It's just this. The voice, words coming out. It's not only here, it's everywhere, of course. No, there's no difference in that sense. It's just the same. It's just energy being Rose or a character. That's it. No better or worse, no higher or lower, no already there and not already there. It's always complete. When there's a lot of struggling, then it's just that. It's just the body moving like that. That's it. So let's talk about this. Saying maybe there are questions or sharing what you want. So if you want to, you can unmute yourself and then you can talk. The struggling hurts. Somebody is saying in the chat, the struggling hurts. The struggling is still a suffering. But when they're struggling, it's not wrong. That's just the search. And the struggling, we are so used to name everything and to make like there's just struggling and there are a lot of thoughts maybe about something and there's a feeling in the body. There's just a feeling in the body. There's thoughts. Thoughts don't have any meaning. It seems they are very, they have something to say and they are able to make you do something or not do something. They don't have any power. It seems like it because we're so used that thoughts are the leader of you and help you to do the right thing. It's just thoughts. It's just an energy, nothing else. And in the same time, there's moving or a feeling. That's it. It's going nowhere. And another thought, chat is, it feels that negative thought lead to a negative body-mind system. Yeah, that's so strong that there's that thoughts are influencing the way you are or the how the body is, because you always think this is influencing that. There's only this. There's no before and there's no after, so there are also no consequences. So when there's a thought in, like, I'm not good enough, something, I don't know, something like that, then it's just thought, it's just an energy. And there's a contraction or pain, or then there's just a contraction. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. It's not wrong, it's not right, it's just what's happening, apparently. And it's not your body, it's just body. There's no one doing it, no one following the thoughts, something like that. There is no one, there's already no one. So there are thoughts, there's body contracting, happening. There are trees falling down, there are branches falling down. That's it, it's the same thing. There's no difference. There's no tree thinking, oh my God, that branch is falling down. What did I do? It's the same thing. And when there's sadness, there's just sadness. No reason. There's no reason. We are so convinced that everything has a reason. Everything has consequences. No reason. There's just sadness. Like that. So what? But when there's a me, there's in a subtle way, wanting to get rid of certain feelings like sadness or pain or anger, and trying to feel relaxed, or that seems to be a better life. It's just everything. This is not about a better life. This is everything. There's just everything. Nothing is better than something else. But for me, it sounds like, how can you say that? Because there's always a struggle about not wanting this and wanting something else. When there's no me, when it's very obvious, then there's no struggle, of course, but there's also no escape. So when there's pain or a contraction can happen, or cramps or anything, then that's there. It's not like, oh, there's cramp, so okay, there's cramp. It's not like that. That can be like, oh my God. But there's nothing coming up trying to change it. And in the same time, you could also say, maybe there's something and there's going to the doctor. It's not like, oh, I think there's so much pain and okay, there's so much pain. It's just, sometimes there's going to the doctor, but that's not a decision. It's just like that. It's just going. It's just life. Or not going to the doctor. Anything can happen. It's not about better behavior, better life. It's not about better or worse. Nothing is better. It's just what's happening. There's another chat. It is there and it's not. Could you go into that a little bit more, please? It's there and it's not. It's there and it's not. It can't be understood. It's just when there's no me, and sometimes it can be also what I know. It's in there can be subtle awakening, subtle one moment, and then it's the me is coming back, and it's just go on. And then it's suddenly clear, and then it goes on for the me and there. But it's, the world is not real. The world is not real. There's only nothing. But it's not only nothing, there's also apparently everything. That's the same. So this is nothing, and it's apparently everything, like moving or seeing bodies or anything. But it's not real, it's not solid, it's only energy. You could say, maybe to understand, because you can't understand this, but sometimes when you have a hologram, or when there's somebody, how do you say, on the road, when there's, how do you say it in English? When it's very hot, it seems like there's energy.
Mirage.
A mirage, yeah, that's a mirage. So you see that, and it seems very real, and you're going more close, and you see, oh no, there's nothing, and that's the same. That's the same thing. It's light falling, and onto something, and it just seems like there's something happening. And the brain of the people are so sophisticated that they can abstract and think, oh, I am here, this is my body, and the whole thing is going on. but it's not real. It's very, how could you say, literally. It's not, I know there's nobody. Where do you see somebody? It's just body. That's it. I don't see anybody. It's just body there, body moving, or I think. And we are so convinced that also outside this room, there's another world, there's other people, there's my mother, and I don't see it. I don't. It's just there. This is everything. This is everything. It's not a philosophy. It's just very literally. But we are so capable of remembering, and we are so like remembering that's real. So I know that behind that window there is some world. There is Amsterdam, or there is, I don't know what for country. So, but it's just in the mind. It's just a dream. It's very normal. It's just this, and that's it. No philosophy. It's just describing what is. There's no one. But it's not like, oh, here is no one, like something like that. No, this is enlightenment or something. No, it's just normal. It's just body. I don't see anybody. I see nothing in it. It's just body, very literally. So it's no special. Nothing is special, of course. And that's in this, in non-duality meetings, or in Indian philosophies or anything. It always becomes something special after a long way of trying or meditating, or I don't know what. There is a state of bliss or something. This is not a state of bliss. It's just normal. It's just, it can be anything. And can be subtle. There is joy, but it's not always very apparent. It can be more stronger. Anything can be stronger. The wind can be much more stronger. Or the joy can, with no reason, can be stronger or very subtle. That's always there too. It's everywhere. So it's not like this person has enlightenment or something like that. It's like, it's just life. Life is joy. That's everywhere, of course. So then you can say this. It's there and it's not there. Apparently, it's not there. There's nothing, and it's there apparently. I could say, but it's not about. This is not about understanding. Suddenly there can be a click, like, oh my God, or resonance, but it's not like in the brain or understanding.
There is a chat.
Another chat. Yeah. Oh, two. Would you say that thoughts have no impact at all? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It seems very odd because thoughts are so important, and it seems like they manage everything. It's just thought, it's just energy, words with no meaning, no impact. Just like that. That's huge because we are so involved in this thought. I have negative thoughts, or I have to more positive. So you think it's your thought. You are doing the thoughts. It's not you are doing thoughts. It's just thoughts coming and just falling away. It's not your thoughts. It's just energy in thought, in that form, maybe with images also, remembering. That's it. It falls away. Then there's something else. That's it. Nothing leads to anything. This is already it. So no need for anything else. Thoughts are more the drivers, or how could you say, when there's a me, thought seems to be the help to get somewhere. And that seems very convincing, of course. But there's no impact, no power at all. So another one is what I see around me now in the room I'm sitting in. The room I'm sitting in, any more real than my knowing about the outside world? That I know my parents live just down the road. You could say that what is seen here is apparently there, and the rest is just a dream. It's in the dream of, you're in the dream, you know there are parents down the road, there's an image of them and a knowing in some way. But it's just not there. And it's there, it's always apparently there, the room is apparently there, so it's real and unreal in the same time. But the whole thing about there's a world, there are parents, and I just did that yesterday, and how can I do that? That's the dream. That's the dream of me, which seems very important. And it seems like that's your life. That whole dream about thoughts and images and remembering and knowing. It seems like that's your life. It's just a dream. This is everything. It's just very simple, without any meaning, just a table or a body. No different. There's a difference, you see a different, but it's not higher energy or something like that. It's just a body or a table or drinking coffee or meditating. It's the same. The same in saying of quality, or could say. Nowhere, nothing to reach, so no need for knowing. When there's no knowing. So there's no knowing is when there's a me, there's knowing seems very important, because that helps to get a better life. That seems to be like that. When there's no knowing, it doesn't matter, because everything is it. It doesn't mean that everything is like, oh my God. It's just what's happening. It can be nothing, feeling, or feeling the wind. Very simple. What's happening over there in other bodies is the same. There's no difference. Mm. There's another one, but it's in Dutch. I will translate it. I think we are so used to stories. We're so used to other old stories. That's the dream. Stories like, oh, I did it, and how can I do that? And because of that, we have to. That's the whole dream. Seems so. That is your life. And about time and before and after and reason and consequences. Everything seems so real and so convincing and so normal. So when there's a saying of there's no consequences, my God, it's huge, because everything is about being alert, or a whole survival system about trying to avoid things or make it happen, or oh my God. And then how can you live without reason or without knowing? That's very easy. It's the most easy. There's no one doing it, so it's just happening like that. Maybe there's going to the shop or nothing. Nothing matters. It is what it is already it. But it's not saying the whole time, oh, this is it already, something like that. No, there's no saying. It's just happening. And the apparent, it's all, not the whole time like, oh, everything is just apparent, so it doesn't matter. It's not like that. That's the concept. It's not seen all the time like that everything is apparent. It's just there, but no big deal. You get used to it. So, something like that. Do you have limits? It's a question. There are no limits, of course. Only in the dream. There seem to be limits, or it's everything is just energy. The body, it seems like this is the border of my body. I can't say limit, border. It's just it's so convincing. We are so used to see this is my body and inside my body, and I have to behave. And other people say something to me. I was very much into the how can you say, the personal growth. So you have your limits, your body, and it's my body. And if you say something, it's from you. It's not for me. Something like that. When there's something saying something and there's pain, then it's just pain, or just, I don't know, maybe a reaction can happen. I don't know, it doesn't matter. No, there are only limits in the dream. There are apparently limits in, it seems like, yeah, could you say, walking to a car, towards a car, they're really boring like that. Something like, very literally, is it more, very practical. But that's just the body moving. And there's also, the brain is still working. So there's, when there's going to the door and there's taking a key and putting it in the thing of the key and open it. It's just, the brain is still working, but there's no one doing it. It's not only here, it's everywhere like that. Yeah, another chat. Okay. Could you say that the me structure tries to protect itself? In the dream, it's like that. So there's a dream like I'm someone, so I have to protect myself, and So there's coming certain behavior is better than other behavior, and trying in that sense. But of course, it's just a dream, because then when it's very serious and very real, it seems very important to do that. But it's just a dream. There's just like this, and it's just gone. It's nothing. Oh, God. I was so involved in all that protecting and trying to behave well and being more relaxed, and I thought I did that and I had to do that. So all day I was busy with that, and it's just nothing. It's just a dream, and it's like, oh, it seems very important, and it's just nothing. It's just, and in the same time, just life goes on without any reason, without consequences, or that because of I thought did, or you say that I am like this, or something like, oh, because of my parents I'm like this, or oh my God, it's just this. There's no past. There is no past. There's no time. It's just only in a dream. When you think there's time, it's not wrong, but it's just thinking there's time. You don't have to understand. That's also a big one. You try to understand what I'm saying or what other people are saying so you can do something with it, or maybe that helps somewhere. Nothing helps. It doesn't need to help. The words here, which I said, they are of no importance, of course, because it's already there. It's somewhere when there's a meeting between people and when there's an energy. So maybe in that energy there's something going on. But the words or what is said here is not important. You don't have to write it down or to do it or not do it or understand. Doesn't matter. It's not about understanding. Life is not about understanding. It's just already going. So nothing is needed. It's already there. Oh, a chat in Dutch. um, I tried to translate it. There was some fight, could say, with a colleague, and I felt with her a very obvious me, and because of that, I was in distress, and I could stop it because I said, I don't want a discussion. I find that sort of meetings, I find very difficult. Yeah, because there's a difficulty. I don't know if you feel me or not. I don't know, but there will be always meetings with people, and there can be a feeling of stress, or people say something and you don't know what to say. You feel something that can be like that. So that's life happening. There's no. This is not about finding a way to deal with something. There's no one. So meetings can happen. They seem to happen, and then maybe there's saying something or not saying something, and we are so used to, oh, I should have said something, and now I didn't do that, or oh, it was good. I did say the right thing, and she stopped immediately and went away. Oh God, yeah, now it's happening better now. It's the same story. It's so convincing that it's because of you or because of her or because of anything. There can be any meeting. There can be sitting somewhere and somebody coming to you and saying nasty things. It can be anything can happen, of course. I don't know. You don't know. It's not about protecting. There's no escape. There is already no escape. It seems to be when there's a need. There's no escape. And it doesn't matter. When there's a certain feeling or a certain reaction, that's what's happening. And then, okay, so what? Nothing is wrong or right. There's also no right, of course, then. But it's also not really happening. It seems every meeting seems very real. It's only an apparent world with people, and it's just a body and just a voice. And then there's walking in the woods. It's not real. It's just apparently real, but it seems real. But so there's nothing happening. Just energy.
And another one.
Another one. Okay. When we see a movement, we see time and duration. Yeah. It's so convincing that there's time. You think, oh, that started at 5 and now it's 5 past 5. And during that time, that was that movement. We're so used. It's so the clock is so convincing. Yeah. If it's convincing, if that's there, it's just there. And it's amazing to hear that there's no time. There's just this. There's only this. There's no past. So it didn't begin and it didn't end. Amazing. That's strange to hear. And maybe somewhere there can be some moments also that suddenly like, oh, something like that. Or not. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Everything, when there are certain awakenings, it can be so different. It's so in all ways, all kind of ways. There is no time. So there are no consequences. There's so no duration. It lasts, or it lasts so long like that. You can say it. It's just when there's walking somewhere and then say, I'm back at 5, you say like that. Maybe it's going like that, maybe not, but planning can happen. It seems like it's not even a belief that there's time. It's just normal, there's time. And suddenly somebody's saying, no, there's no time. Like, huh? What's going on here? So this is also, you could say, a shaking of beliefs. I don't know what shaking, but it's like, oh, it's not, a lot of things don't seem a belief. Like there's someone who, you could say, that's so just there. It's just normal. And then suddenly someone is saying, it's just saying something else, like, oh my God, what's happening here? So all those concepts and beliefs are shaken. And then that whole building, you could say, then there is something going on, like, oh, it's not that steady anymore, because then that's the survival system. It's like being steady, like I have some safety like this. And then suddenly there's not so much safety anymore, because I'm not sure anymore somewhere. This is about loss. This is about loss. It's not about finding, it's about loss. Other one. Can you say something more about that loss? The loss is more in the dream of me, you could say. There are a lot of concepts, and like you're so convinced that there's a me, that there's time, that there are consequences, there's I'm not good enough, and there's behavior is very important, because then I'm maybe more, I'm thinking I'm more safe, or I will be more happy. And when I'm behaving like this, that gives a lot of relaxation, because of da 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 da. There are a lot of concepts and beliefs. And when there's talking about there's only this, there's all those beliefs are not zeg je dat, bevestigd, confirmed. So there's something and questions are not really being answered. There's no road, or there's no hearing something what you can do, or what is right to do, or something like that. So all those normal concepts and beliefs are not feeded. And thoughts, that their thoughts is important, and all those things. So nothing is feeded. When nothing is feeding, it just falls a bit down, because it needs feeding. The me needs feeding. It's going on that drive. When that drive is not feeded, then it's like, then, and so new question don't come up, and some beliefs are becoming maybe like, there's maybe that it's not right. Maybe this belief, is that right? Maybe there's coming doubt, or something like that. So it's falling down. And that feels as that there's loss, because then what I remember knowing for me was very important. And when I met Tony Parson, then it was in after many years, of course, but then there was a sudden clear, it was so clear, but everything was suddenly so clear, but not suddenly, after some time, but it was just a clear knowing. And it felt very comfortable, and I could talk about that, and it was just a knowing. And that when that fell away, in that moment, it felt like, oh, it's just, I've left with no head, like, oh my God, where I'm going to do, or what is important, or what is, oh, it was like, oh, something like that. So that was a loss. And then I was very good in seeing people and seeing all those, what's happening inside people, and suddenly it wasn't there anymore. So that was my job. So, and so that was also a loss. So, and I thought I want to find it, but it's more like everything, a lot of things, not in one time, but in several moments, they were falling away. And it felt not very comfortable in the beginning. And afterwards it felt like, oh, it's just a relief. That's the strange thing. It felt in the first time, I think, oh my God, what's happening here? And then, oh, what a relief, because you have to maintain. The bee needs to be maintained and go on. You need to go on, because because when nothing is happening, the bee is finding something else or something like that. And when that's not happening in those kind of meetings, those beliefs are falling away, then sometimes it feels like a relief. Sometimes maybe fear can also come up, because nothing is sure anymore. Like fear can happen, anything. So that's the loss. And those concepts seem very important, but they maintain the me structure and the searching and the not finding, you could say. So when there's a loss, then suddenly, can be there. Maybe for a moment, maybe longer. There's no need to understand this. There's already everything. So no need to change. The way the body is just the way the body is. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing right. There's nothing wrong. It's just there. It's just life happening in that life bodying, you could say. Or when there's a moving or a certain behavior, then that's just life behaving in a certain way. So there can't be anything wrong. It's already complete. Nothing is needed. What's happening is already there. It's just what is. What is already everything. It can be the moving of your head. It can be the closing of the computer. That's it. And it is not a certain feeling like when I close the computer, then I feel at one. It's not a feeling or a state. It's just the closing of the computer. The movement is it. It's just a movement. It's very simple and tiny and not special and very normal. It's already this. Thank you. Thank you for listening and joining. Hey.
Thank you, Rose.
Bye. Thank you. Bye, Joey.
All right.